Hello. Hello, everyone. Corrie here. Just waiting to see if our connection is made on Facebook and YouTube. So I am broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, just so people are aware. You'll see comments coming up that you may not see on Facebook, but they're coming from YouTube. And I'm just letting people join in. So we're just going to give a moment. I wanted to come in and do a live before the heat got even worse here. It is quite hot. I'm not complaining about the heat, though. So I can see I have one. It looks like Facebook. So I'm not sure if I'm on YouTube yet. We'll find out. Excuse my hair. This is hot 34-degree humidity hair. And it's looked like this for days and days and days. And for a while, I wasn't able to even lift my arms because I have soft tissue damage in my neck. So I couldn't get my arms up to even do anything with my hair. So as good as it gets. But I'm here in this heat to do a live with you today. So I just wanted to stop and oh, good. Okay. I was just waiting to see if somebody was on YouTube so I could make sure I was connected to both. Didn't know if I had to fiddle around. Thank you, Emma. You have to say that. You're my cousin. So, Emma, I hear there's like a cousin reunion while I'm home, but I'm booked. Wouldn't be able to come to the cousin reunion. I know I'm not part of that cousin part, but I would have crashed it if I could have. Hello, Edie and Liz. Hi. And Kim, hello. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. You see me live in a week. Are you coming to see me in Newfoundland? Kim? Yes, Emma, I know. We were just actually talking about dildo. So I'm bringing my husband home for the first time. I have never ever had anyone go home with me since I've lived in Alberta all these years. But I'm actually bringing my husband's coming home with me. So people actually get to meet my husband for the first time. We'll be traveling home right after our anniversary, our first anniversary. And so yeah, I'm actually excited to also be bringing my husband with me. He will not be coming to the event, though. That he says he's staying home. I told him and my brother are not allowed to go. They could, I guess, if they want. But yeah. Oh my God, Kim, I'd be so excited if you show up and come. It would be so good. Oh, that would be so great. Yay. I'm so excited, Kim. I'm very excited to be actually doing the event in Newfoundland as well. So the event is in Grand Falls, Windsor, at the Mount Peyton Hotel. And I booked it kind of on kind of answering a call that I was feeling inside. So I wasn't going to Newfoundland, and then my sister-in-law and my mom really thought that I should go. And they're right. It's not that I didn't want to go. I really wanted to go, but I'm always trying to be practical. And so I just kept hearing, you need to do an event. You need to do an event. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this event. And so, yeah, so I decided that I am doing a connection to spirit. So connecting to loved ones in Grand Falls, Windsor at the Mount Peyton Hotel on, I think what is the date? The 12th, I believe it is. It's a Monday. It's a Monday night, Monday evening from 7 to 8:30. And doors will open up at 6, and I'll bring books. I'll have some books with me. It's hard to travel with that many books, but I'll have some books and some cards, and I'll do some book signing, and some chats with people as well after the event. And so, yeah, so the tickets are on sale right now. I really look forward to seeing a bunch of people show up, and the tickets are selling so well. it's just been amazing. This is like short notice, and the tickets have only been on sale for not even 2 weeks. And yeah, it's like incredible. I am so impressed. So yes, I'll be, and I'm only there till the 15th, Kim. So I arrive on the 5th. No, I fly out on the 5th. I arrive in Newfoundland on the 6th, and then, or we arrive on the 6th in the morning of the 6th, and then we fly back on the morning of the 15th. So it's a quick trip in. There's a period of time when my daughter, her husband, and their kids are going to be there for a few days, and then we're kind of overlapping a little bit there. And so then we have a few days when they go back. But I'll be in Buckens is where I'll be staying, Kim. So for those who don't know, I am from Buckens, Newfoundland. I grew up in Springdale, though. I spent 20 years? 20 years in Springdale. So I lived in Springdale for that many years. I went to school from grade 1 all the way to grade 12. And then I returned and I was hairdressing in Springdale. And then I moved to St. John's for a period of time, and I was teaching I was a demonstrator. I was like a teacher's assistant and teaching through Lemoyne School of Hair Design back in the day. That's where I went to school. And then I returned back to Springdale, and then I moved to Buckens, and I opened up my first magic scissors. And I had a salon in Buckens then for a few years. And in between all of that and some ups and downs in life, I ended up moving to Gander, and then I ended up teaching. I ended up teaching with Academy Canada. So I was a hairstyling instructor with Academy Canada in Grand Falls. So I worked in Grand Falls as a hairstyling instructor, and then I worked as admin represent. I can't even speak. Admin representative for them. And I did that for a while. And then I moved to Alberta. And then I went back home for a short period of time, and I worked in Gander. So I've kind of met people and have people all over the place. I've lived a lot of places. And then I spent 20 something years in Slave Lake, Alberta, and then Leduc, then Sylvan Lake, and now in Lacombe for the last few years. So I have a bit of a gypsy soul. I've moved around a fair bit, but I'm coming home for a visit in Newfoundland, and eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to spend even more time going back and forth into Newfoundland, and maybe have a summer home or something there. That's what we're hoping. So yeah, so we got people now. Here we are, but I do hope to see more people. I hope to see even more people in Grand Falls at my live event. And if you're really, truly just wanting to come and just sit in the beautiful energy, it is so powerful to go to one of these events, and it's like, and really come open, with your heart wide open, not blocking, not trying to say, oh, I hope she guesses. It's not a guessing game. That's not how this works. I work as a healer. I work as a psychic medium. I connect to spirit. I've been talking to spirit since I was a child. It's not new, but I did as I became an adult. I did go and take trainings and to properly learn how to harness my own energy and to work with that energy, and to be able to, open the store, close the store. So I don't always have it all wide open. Oh, I'm so excited, Kim. Hello, everyone else that's joining in. Thank you for being here this morning. So we have a full moon coming up, and it's the second full moon in Capricorn since June. So we've had 2 full moons in Capricorn. That doesn't happen very often, but we do have 2 full moons, and these full moons are really a big part of like transitioning energy. It's big transitioning energy. And of course, we have a lot of noisy energy in the world, and we have a lot that's happening with our planets, and a lot that's happening out there in the energy, out in the universe. And I always say what's happening out there is happening within us. And it's a very emotional period of time. So we're still in Cancer season, but we're coming to an end. So we're going back into a fire sign. We're going into Leo. And so we'll be shifting into Leo energy coming up on the 21st. And so that brings about a change as well. So with this Cancer, you've been really, truly probably feeling the emotions, probably existing in the emotions, probably going through, really feeling the past kind of rising up. And sometimes it's to resolve it. Other times is to finally face it. And some things in life, we really, when we face life head on, when we let ourselves not be on the run from life, and we learn to face life, that's when we learn to come back into our authentic self, because we're no longer then having to look over our shoulders. We're no longer afraid. We're no longer taking the threats from the universe, right? The threats from our own mind, from the enemy that we create within. And we all have an enemy that we create within ourselves. It just is, and it's there. And so you may be really hearing the voice of that little um, that little enemy within, that little troublemaker within you, that is speaking to you and just, provoking. It's a very provoking kind of energy. And so it has been very provoking. It has been pushing every button that we have. And so we are really seeing a lot of that. And we're seeing, I mean, we've been calling the things that just happened last weekend with all of the attempted assassination, all of those things. We've been speaking about that in our energy updates. Astrologers have been speaking about it. Like, us as psychic mediums have been talking about this for a long time. But it reveals something to us. And, it's not about being on political sides. It's not about being right or wrong, but it speaks about humanity, right? And our need for, our need to really truly soften in humanity, to really truly get back to what really matters. And that's what this energy is doing. This energy with this full moon, this energy that we have happening now, we have Saturn still in retrograde. We also have Mercury going back into retrograde coming up in early August. Is that it is about really truly getting back to the softer side of things, and really getting to, there's a softer side to us. And we've become so desensitized by social media, by the exposure, by just dehumanizing each other, like as a human race. And it's like, I write this in More Than Existing. I think I write it in every one of my books. There's not one of my books that's out that doesn't say we all matter. We all matter. And we all mean something to somebody. You may not like somebody, but we mean something to somebody. And we are somebody to somebody, right? And so when you really stop and we pause and we think and we look at, how we've really built a culture, a society, a world based around fear-based living. If you don't do this, this will happen. If you if you behave this way, this is what's going to happen. And so there's a lot of shame and guilt that's really been building, has been the building blocks of our foundation of how we behave. Our habits, our behavior patterns, our beliefs are so built on shame and guilt. And when you can truly get back to the center balance of yourself and you question, why? And so this is a real good energy for releasing, for getting back to the center and getting back to that balance, and asking yourself, like, really, why? Why do I do the things to myself that I don't want others to do to me? And so one of mine was, I feel bad. Like, I always feel bad. And that ability to tell myself, oh, I feel bad. I feel bad for other people. I feel bad if I don't feed the birds. I feel bad if I don't do this, I don't do that. But that is a way to be able to guilt myself and to be able to shame myself. And so now, like, the past few years, I've been really trying to work on it. And I catch myself in those moments and I go, that's not true. That's not true. You not doing that. It's like, you have nothing to feel bad about. You have nothing to feel bad about. That is nothing to feel bad about. And so, birds are not going to starve to death if you're not there to feed them. In that next hour, your dogs will be okay if you leave them in the house for an hour by themselves. But it was always that sense of guilt, riddled in guilt. Now, I'm only giving you minor things because I had a lot of bigger things than that really played out in my life. And so this was little things. and not given enough. So anything I did, I would have to add extra layers into everything to give more, to do more. That if I was teaching a class, I would have to do more because it wasn't enough. I have to give more. If I was hosting an event, well, I'd have to stay and go an extra half hour, even though I didn't have the energy in me to do it, because I felt bad that, oh my God, somebody took their time to come see me, so I better give even more of myself. I've done enough. I am enough. And these are the languages that we're here to start coming into in that higher vibration is, we all matter. I am enough. And so that original version of ourselves, that very original version, was always enough. It's all the little fibs, all the little lies, all the little thoughts, all the little words, all the little opinions that kept telling you you were not. And so then we try to create something more, and we try to be something more. But we arrived on a soul level. We arrived as everything we need to be for this life. And that's why when our loved ones come through and spirit comes through, they're not coming through with the same frustration, resistance, anger. They're coming through with a deeper truth. They're coming through with a knowing, if I had have known, if I had known, I wouldn't have been doing that, right? And so they're coming through with wisdom. It's everything else they have dropped. So when people ask me, oh, is my loved one okay? And I'm like, well, of course your loved one is okay. It's you who is not okay. But because you're so used to focusing on somebody else and you're worried about somebody else, you forget to worry about yourself. You forget to care for and nurture. So we give ourselves reason to create a place of misery to exist within ourselves. Whereas if we can really look at it with compassion, we don't exist in the misery. We allow ourselves to exist in the gift of love. And grief is love. And that sense of grief is love. But when we truly get to that place, we start to be able to break free of all of the stories we've created around it. And because when spirit returns home, spirit doesn't continue to hold on to all of the narratives and all of the stories. There is no shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? That remain, that they're guilting from. What they will tell us is things like, if I had have listened. So let's just say, for example, I have and I'm just using a random, I don't have a specific client with this, but if I had a random mother, if I had a random child who died of, say, drug overdose, and they'll give me all kinds of things to show me what it was that they need me to tell their parents. But often the message is, if I had have listened. And they will give me something like, remember when mom told me this? Or, mom had told me this. Or mom had asked me not to do this. They had asked me not to go there. They had asked me not to do that. And I went anyway. And so what they're doing is they're taking back that what you have laid on yourself, as like, or the mother has laid on herself of, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. And they're taking accountability, responsibility. So they're extracting that guilt that we hold on to. They're extracting that, and they're saying, give that to me. Take that away from yourself so that you can feel the love. Because if you're riddled in guilt, if you're living in that place, how can you feel my love? And spirit wants us to be able to feel that love. And so when we can feel the love, we can begin to let love in and let light in. And we can begin to gather up something that builds a stronger relationship, because you're spirit. And so it becomes spirit to spirit. Yes, the woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? And that's all narratives. And Stacy, I know you know this, right? It's like that's all narratives that we tell ourselves, that gives ourselves permission to then get into how we react and we respond to everything in our lives. But it's a part of the habit we've already had. if I had done this. And so they take back that accountability and responsibility. So when I wrote More Than Existing, it was about, while we're here on earth, it's about us really truly getting clear on what it means to take accountability and responsibility. It is, and to give back where it belongs. It's not my job. There's nothing I can do. There was nothing any different I could have done. And so when a mom steps into the healing and starts to recognize how good she was as a mom, she starts to remember all that she did say, all that she did do to try to help. But sometimes we have to remember that while our loved ones were on earth, they also had free will choices. And because they had free will choices, they always met at the gate, the door of those choices, to choose to do this or choose to do that. And every time they made a choice, it was either going to be their choice to do something that was right, or something that was not right for them. And those were, they were responsible for those things. Now, there's a situation where other people are responsible for the things that were happening. But for me, it's always about spirit. My connection and my work with spirit is so that we can help clear all that clutter that is around, so there's space for grief. So there's space for the right atmosphere, the right environment for grief. And so that you can grieve properly. So that you can grieve in that right energy of your heart, of where you have cleared all of the chaos, where you've cleared out all of that weight you have put on your own shoulders, that you are responsible, that you did this, that if you did that. And that's all illusions. Those are what we call veils of illusions. It's what keeps us from awakening to a truth. And so that child who no one forced them to probably take that drug. They probably did it because they felt the peer pressure. They probably felt it because they were an introvert and they didn't know how to communicate, and they just wanted to speak to some. They just wanted to fit in. They just wanted to belong. But it had nothing to do with the parenting. Not a thing. You can't tie your children up. You can't put them in a cage. You can't put them in a bubble wrap. We just do the best that we can do with what we have. And when we can free ourselves, we free ourselves to then be able to, we free ourselves, we free the spirit, we free our spirit. We get into that relationship with our own soul. And when you can get into that relationship with your own soul, that beautiful, beautiful, healthy relationship then begins. And people just say, well, I just can't see that. I can't see how that's possible. Well, I've seen a lot of magic and miracles happen in people's lives. And the more that we get to that place, the more present the spirit of our loved ones really is in our lives. And I've seen it in such ways that I just know. I know with everything that's in me, that power of healing that takes place. And it doesn't mean we spend a lifetime with that grief. But when that piece of your heart passes and dies, their soul heart, the piece of their light steps in and brings that heart back together. And so they ask of you to, live your life for them, to live your best life, show them all the things they didn't get to see, reveal to them what is possible in life, give them the experiences, and they will happily travel it with you. And so that's a huge part of why I do what I do, and why I take mediumship and all of my work in connecting to spirit and bringing those messages is, I always say, it's not a circus act. It's not for amusement. That's not what it's about. It's about what it is possible, what it can possibly bring into our lives, and how it can truly help us, and how it brings those changes. And it really does. So and so that's why I love that part of my work. I love what I do. And I would say it's, how do I put this? I'm going to just say it as always see it. If you could see what I could see, you would never doubt you ever again. You would never doubt what really exists out there. Because when I meet people, I meet spirit first. I meet people spirit first before I meet their human. And their human's always talking, always going on, always got an excuse, always got a complaint, always got a problem, always got something else to tell, always taking the blame for something, always guilting themselves, always shaming themselves. And then there is this energy that's around you that's just like, yeah, okay. And I'll just hear this. Somebody could say to me, oh, well, I just want to know what's next. I just want to know if this person loves me or if this person wants me. And I'm like, and then the spirit's going, no, what they really need to know, know is, why are you wasting so much time chasing somebody? Why are you waiting for somebody else to love you to be enough? And that's kind of how the spirit speaks. And it's very matter of fact. It's very matter of fact. It just does it in such a matter of fact way. And so, yeah, so those are some of the things that really truly come up. And, you see me do it in here in little increments in live, but private sessions or big group settings, that's a whole different ballgame. And it's just a whole different ballgame. But I'm also in Drumheller. So I'm in Newfoundland on the 12th, but I'm in Drumheller, Alberta on the 27th on the Saturday, back at Tree Chorus Healing. It's my friend's place. There's an event page on Facebook, and it's also in the stories on Instagram today. So you can pre-book for there. But let's go to a card. Oh, speaking about cards. So if you don't have my Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, right now, until I think it's the 25th, if you purchase the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, you will receive a free 2-card reading from the Everyday Goddesses sent to your email. And it'll be a video that I will do for you. And I will be sending that to you. And it's valued at so the summer special for the 2-card Everyday Goddess reading. So there is a special on just the reading itself, and that's $44. But if you go buy the deck of cards, which are $48 plus tax, you'll get the 2-card reading for free. So if you don't have a deck of cards and you've always wanted them, it's a good time to get the cards, because you'll be getting the cards and you'll be receiving a 2-card reading. Hello, everyone. And I got to tell you, it's so hot up here that I'm literally sitting in my bathing suit bottoms. I went out for a walk. And it's my first day I've been able to walk because I have this soft tissue damage in my freaking neck. And so it's the first day I've been able to walk in over a week. And so I went out and walked, and I came home and I just start stripping the off clothes, and I put on bathing suit bottom just to sit here. So the card that we pulled for this energy is unassuming, and it is Amara. And she is card number 13. So this is prime example of how many beliefs we have, how many superstitions we have been told, how we've been told to fear things. 13, Friday the 13th, bad luck. And if we tell ourselves it's a bad luck day, then chances are you're going to find bad luck. You're going to find every reason for it to not be a good day. But if you neutralize it and it's just nothing, or if you turn it into, it's my lucky number and it's a good day, every time I see 13, it's a good moment, then you will smile, then you'll chuckle, then you raise your vibration, and then good things, you become a magnet towards good things. You'll find things to be happy about. So we have the ability inside of ourselves to be happy or to be not. And so unassuming Amara is that this energy actually has a lot of unassuming energy. And because it has a lot of what feels like negativity to this energy, because it has a harshness to it, there's a harshness to it. It feels harsh. It feels aggressive. Is that not all harsh and aggressive energy is bad energy? And people get so mixed up in that. It's bad, but it's also got potential to move. It's like sometimes we need a force. Sometimes we need a forceful energy to make a shift. It's being able to move something out of the way. Sometimes we got to put in a little extra effort to get to a certain goal in our lives. And so this is the energy that kind of is that effort. I'm doing it. It's kind of gives us that courage to do what we need to do. It's the thing that kind of pushes you to the point of just saying, I'm done. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not living that no more. I'm not accepting that no more. I'm not doing. And so that harshness can appear as problematic, depending on who's looking at it and who it's affecting and who's influenced by it. And so that is the unassuming of this energy, is that it's not all a bad energy. It's not all a negative energy. It has a harshness to it. It has an aggression to it. It has the ability to be able to move mountains. It has the ability to be able to really be a forceful energy towards change. And change is not a bad thing. Change means sometimes it closes doors. And when it closes doors, it gives us the opportunity to open new doors, right? And so it also reveals to us sometimes the things we really need to be able to see so that we can start walking towards the path we really want to walk towards. And so it's not a bad thing. So there's a lot of golden opportunities here, a lot of golden energy. And so this can be our golden days, our golden times. I actually like this kind of energy. I do. I actually don't. I find that this kind of energy, when we have this kind of energy, it kind of gives me a bit of motivation. I can feel my disruptor coming in, and I can feel myself trying to cause my own little chaos inside of myself. And I'm like, no, use that energy for your highest good. Don't start an argument over nothing. What do you need to do today? What do you need to change today? What do you need to bring into your life today? Who do you need to be? Now smarten up, put your big girl panties on and get to work. That's kind of the way that energy works. And so it's all how we perceive it, right? It's all how we perceive it and all how we allow ourselves to work with it. Right. Yeah. So Wendy just said, I'm finding I've been able to be more forceful in my determination to steer clear of negative aspects of life. Yes, exactly. Right. You see it, you know it's there, but you're just being more forceful. And so somebody say, well, why are you being so aggressive? Or why are you being so grumpy? I'm like, no, I'm just not being what you want me to be. I'm just not being what you think I should be. I'm being what I need to be. And so there's a difference, right? And so we have the medicine woman and we have Ruthie. And now she's in the mother energy and she's card 21. And her hands are roots, her whole bottom is rooted. And so we have a lot of root energy here and a lot of sacral energy, but more root. I want to say it's really a really rooted, earthy energy because we're in Capricorn, right? So we have this Capricorn, but the reason why I said sacral is because that also ties us into water. And so we have the Cancer, we have the water, the mothering, the emotions, which is on its way out. And as this water energy now moves out, it's now where fire comes in. So we've had water and now we're going into fire, but we're going into the Leo fire. And so that Leo fire is very much about bringing things together. It's about success. It's about bringing people together. But this is at the root. And so she's really recognizing that what the medicine woman really brings to us is the revelation of what's been buried or what needs to finally be buried. If we can finally let things go and we can release it, it comes back to us as wisdom. It comes back to us in the future as wisdom. We transmute it. And when it's transmuted back, it brings about change. And so if we keep holding on to something too long, we're nurturing something that is dead energy. It has no value. It's nothing there. If we can finally let it go, it is like our children. It's like our children. We can't call our baby children. We can't call our adult children our babies. It's like, oh, that's my little baby, my poor little baby. I do anything for my little baby. But that's how we give ourselves permission to return to that emotional state of being. It's like, no, that was once my baby. That's now my adult child. So how I would have mothered that little baby, how I would have mothered that little baby versus how I am a mother to this grown adult over here is two different stories, two different ways. I'm not going to be the same mother here. My love will be the same. My love never changes. But who I am as a mother here and who you are as a mother at this stage is not meant to be the same, because we are here to grow future adults. And our job is to just prepare those future adults. And we pray to God they make it to there. And so that narrative and that story is a prime example of that being rooted. And so bring it back to ourselves. If we still see all of our past childhood experiences as, the hard done by. So this is where a lot of this energy is around the victim consciousness. If we are still playing victim, if we are still telling ourselves we are a victim to our past, to our childhood issues, then we're still visualizing it. We're still being that child energy. But our job is to be the parent, to be the parenting thought, to look in and to see that much differently than when we were a child. Because if we're still holding on to it from the childhood memory, then all you have is the way the child would have been able to perceive it through the child brain and the development and the way to be able to connect to that. Whereas if we can see it through the adult, we're able to heal it, release it, resolve it, and to be able to bring into the parenting thought, what do I need as an adult? What do I need as this woman, this man that I am today? What do I need to nurture right here, right now? And that's where the magic is. That's where the magic is. We turn something that has been a burden forever into something that becomes the gift, the treasure that helps us to be able to cultivate living our healthiest, best life. And that's what we have happening. That's what we have going on. So I now have to leave you guys because I do have a client in 15 minutes. And so thank you all for being here today. If you're in the Drumheller area, I will be in Drumheller on the 27th. It's all in the event page. You can pre-book. And then I will also be in Newfoundland on August the 12th for the event in Grand Falls, Windsor. And tickets are still available. And I know we have sold, I think 22 tickets so far, and we're not even at the 2-week mark. So I'm very upfront and honest about what we're doing. So I think we have 22 tickets sold already, and we're not even at the 2-week mark. I am like so ecstatic. I cannot believe that fast that many tickets have really sold. I mean, I can, but I can't. I'm humbled. I'm so humbled. So yeah. In the meantime, I do have a few appointments left for one-on-ones that you can book online on my website, or you can purchase my cards and get your 2 cards. Oh, fuck, I went to move my neck. So you can purchase my Everyday Goddess Oracle cards right now until the 25th, and you will receive a free to you 2-card reading that will be emailed out to you within 48, 72 hours, whatever that is. And that will be sent as an email to you. So you have to purchase the cards first in order to get that. Or if you already have the cards or you don't want to buy the cards, right now the summer special, and it pops up on the website, there is a 2-card special with the Goddess cards for a 2-card reading with the Goddess cards only for $44. And then all my emailed videoed readings, all of those are still available, so you can still purchase any of those. So thank you all. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you soon. Much love.